But we normally speak about the parsha, one cannot ignore the time of year. And the real issue is that Tisha B'Av sounds so not Jewish. It's not just that we're a happy people and we have a great sense of humor. But we believe that we have an obligation, a responsibility, to learn to be happy under all circumstances. We understand that happiness is not just a matter of spontaneous feelings when things are great. But we learn to enjoy the challenges in life. We understand that Hashem is all good. Everything is for our benefit. And we learn to educate our own emotions and be happy. What is this Tisha B'Av? A day to weep, a day to mourn, a day of sadness. So strange, so foreign. So the truth of the matter is that if one fully understands and perhaps gets a little more than a glimpse of what Tisha B'Av really meant to the Jew over the generations, one finds that this is so much in line with what it means to be Jewish. People look for ways to get into the mood of Tisha B'Av, and today highly common way of doing it is to read Holocaust books, Holocaust stories. Read about Jewish suffering. You know, it makes you cry. The mitzvah of the day is not to cry. For that matter, you could have read novels. They make you cry too. What is it that the Jew cries about? The crying is an expression of pain. What pain? The pain of all the suffering that we've endured over the generations of Golus, the anti-Semitism, the numbers we lost, the great people we lost. That's part of it, but that's not the point. The real point of Tisha B'Av is the feeling of how far we are from Hashem. It's the relationship. What was it supposed to be like? And what was it like for those few short eras when we were really close? I don't know what you imagine when you look here, or the model up on the roof. But it's the architecture. What do we miss? What we're talking about is Hashros Hashchina, Gilu Shchina, Hashem revealing Himself. The world as we know it and have known it for so long and for too long is all physical. We talk of higher things. We read stories of what it was like when prophets walked around the streets, when their whole yeshivas of prophecy, the Bnei Anavim. We read the miracle stories. What do you think was happening? Miracle people. We miss them. Life is so much easier when people can perform miracles for you. Tell you where to find what you lost. Today they'd be telling us what stocks to buy. Is that what it's about? How did they attain prophecy? What were they like as people? We understand that what prophecy is all about is not that someone gets a visitation from heaven. It's a matter of a ladder, of Pinchas ben Yair's ladder that the Mesilas Yesharim is based on, of character development. Zehirus Zeriza is going all the way up. Perfection. Getting higher and higher. Not spirituality as spooky, as fluffy. Spirituality is greatness, as really transcending physical limitations. The Beis HaMikdash itself was filled with miracle. The numbers didn't work out in terms of how much space was taken up by what and where it's at. There are miracles all the time. You could see them. And who knows what it really looked like. But one thing was for sure. You came, you're entering a different realm. The world of Ruchnius, the world of spirituality. Those upper spheres. That was apparent. It was apparent there. Today, we don't quite get, I do some kind of mitzvah and it does things up there. What's the connection? Words here and there, but we don't really know what we're talking about. And then it was all clear. And there was bounty. And the nation came up together 3 times a year. There was an apparent closeness with the upper spheres and Hashem himself. Today we struggle so much. Everything is a fight, everything's a struggle. We're so dug in to our physicality. Our physical state is the only thing that's apparent to us. Everything is so distant. Yeah, I sort of know and understand, but it's so distant. Every level, every bit of growth calls for so much toil. And when you get there, you have to work so hard not to regress, to maintain whatever clarity you did. We feel so distant. It's the difference between heaven and earth. In those days, it was heaven on earth. Today, it's very much earth on earth. We feel so estranged. Yes, miracles happen. Hashem reveals himself here and there, and then goes back into hiding. And that distance is so painful. All of Jewish suffering simply is Hashem's way of letting us know that He's staying far away. And the Jew spends Tisha B'Av feeling the pain of the distance and craving the closeness, desiring not only on a personal level, but on a national level, to feel that closeness. Most of Klal Yisrael isn't quite sure that Hashem's up there in the first place. Most people aren't even struggling with what we're struggling with. It's so painful. You know, there's this feeling, Yom Kippur, you fast, you cry yourself out. When the day's over, you feel so good. You feel clean. You cleaned yourself out. There's a day of fasting and prayer, and at the end of it, you're ready to dance. So happy. You accomplished something. Tisha B'Av, we fast, we weep. All right, the day's over, and now what? Has something changed? Has something changed? Mashiach's here now. We're not in Galus anymore. There's no anti-Semitism. Jews don't suffer. What's changed? Why do we go back to eat? What's changed? So that's really the secret. If you spend the day craving the closeness, if you spend the day craving the closeness to Hashem, feeling the distance and crying because you want to be closer, then when the day's over, you do feel a closeness. A whole day dedicated to craving the closeness with Hashem, and you feel closer. Not enough to rejoice, because we still have a long way to go. But it wasn't a wasted day. We feel closer. The pasuk says, "Kara olai moed lishbar bachurai," which literally is referring to the enemy. It was their festival of killing our young men, breaking our young men. But Chazal see it otherwise. Kara olai moed, Hashem has turned this into something of a festival. And this doesn't mean the festival that it will be when Mashiach comes. That's another one. But today it's a festival. Tachanun is not said like on minor festivals. What is this the festival of? What is this the festival of? What's festive about it? No, it's not festive for singing and dancing. But it's so deep and so meaningful. And the very thing we crave, we feel so much more on Tisha B'Av. It's the festival of closeness through distance. Closeness through feeling the pain of the distance. This is the secret of Tisha B'Av. This is what the Jewish nation has felt over the generations. And this is something that is so real and applies to us no differently than it did way back when. To feel the pain on Tisha B'Av. Crave that closeness. and then attain a whole other level of closeness when the day's over. If enough of us do that, maybe Hashem will change it into a different kind of festival, celebrating the Gilui Shechina, the apparent closeness, the return that we've been waiting for. Have a meaningful Tisha B'Av.